Hey guys, hello, and welcome. Welcome back to Tuzee Tuesdays. As I announced last week, today we have a nurse on the show. The nurse that's on the show today is very talented. I'm very proud of this guy. Like, seriously, I'm really proud of him. He is amazing. He's just fun to be around, you know. Like, it's so true. You never get to know a person until you take the time to get to know people, and then you really get to know them, and you just understand how blessed you are, because that's what I am to have met this guy. He's a little bit of a nerd. So, but I think you're going to love him. But today's show really is actually talking about things that I have no words to say how proud and honored I am. This guy actually called me. I've been going around asking people, do you want to be on the show? And I've asked him a few times, I wouldn't lie. But just for his talent, really. But when he called me, he wanted to share this. And his words were, because he believed this is going to empower people that may have struggled with what he's going to be talking about. And I really encourage you to watch to the end. I'm not sure how long this video is going to go, but I'm just so proud of him and what he's doing. Really, he is putting you first before him. So keep watching and be inspired by him today, because he is amazing. Like I said, yeah, he's a pass. He's probably going to give me a lot of trouble, but I am super excited to have him on the show. And thank you for being here. You know, the goal of this show really is to inspire. We have fun here and we add value to each other. And in doing that, we learn to love ourselves enough that we can love on others. So I hope today's show will inspire you to share your story, because this is Justin's going to be sharing his story to give hope. So just keep watching. I don't want to give anything away because I want you to hear it from him. So keep watching. Okay. Let's go over to Justin. Well, welcome. Hello. Hey.
Hi.
Come on, look excited to meet me. What is this? Like
I mean, yay!
No, that's it. That's more like it. Okay. Well, welcome, Justin. Welcome to Tuzee Tuesdays, Nurses for Talent. I'm so excited you're here. Are you fake smiling for me?
Yeah, it would be rude if I didn't.
That is true. That is true. That is true. That is true. So how was your day, though? How was your day?
Well, it's been good. It's really
Yeah.
hot and humid, but other than that, it's good.
Yeah, it's been really warm, actually. Like, really, it's kind of interesting that we are complaining about the heat right now. When the snow comes, I'm like ready to get summer in, and then it's just been so hot. Like,
Heat doesn't bother me. Humidity bothers me.
yeah, I think it's across the board. Yeah.
All right.
So do you have where's the little girl? What is this about?
Well, she's supposed to be having a nap, but I think she's standing at the door right now, like peeking at me.
Oh, you gotta let me say hi to her, please.
Hey, Isabel. Now she's being shy.
She's been shy. Hey, hi Isabel.
So
I'm a big fan of yours.
she will come in. She'll be here.
Yeah, cool. Very cool. Well, like I was saying, I'm very excited to have you on the show. And, for everyone watching, this guy, he's very talented. This is Justin, guys. My very first nurse from the float pool. As you guys know, I'm a float nurse. So I have been privileged to work with this amazing guy. I like the Superman shirt there. You feeling Superman?
I used to have like 9 or 10 of them, and then I don't shop for clothes much, so they all just kind of got old and had holes in them. And now I'm down to like 4. It's really sad.
That sounds very sad to have 4 superhero T-shirts, and there's a few of them out there. And that's not just 4.
I know. But I understand my struggle.
I know. Wow, that is a struggle. You know, I went to the US one time looking for a good Captain America shirt for me because I'm a Captain America. Not as much as Black Panther, though. I like Black Panther, but I'm a big Captain America fan. So I'm looking for a Captain America shirt all in that place. And yeah, I couldn't find anything that actually says my Captain America. So I still don't have a Captain America shirt. So I totally hear you. It's a struggle. It's a struggle big time. But anyways, guys, this guy is amazing. I am so excited to have him on the show, like I've said a few times. And like I was saying, he is my very first float nurse on the show. So we both work together, Justin and myself. We will be talking about that a little bit. But just before we go into our show for today, we're going to start with introduction. And I'm going to I'm going to try not to call you Jesse today because I call him Justin and then Jesse. Just before we go into our show, he's going to do an introduction, tell us his name, where does he work as a nurse, and how long have you been working as a nurse?
Okay, well, my name is Justin, not Jesse. I have been, well, like Tuzee said, I'm in the float pool, so I kind of go all over the place, but my background's in mental health, so I really like being in mental health. And I've been a nurse for about 10 years. I did leave nursing for a couple of years. We'll kind of get into that later, but I did leave nursing for a couple of years, and I just got back into it in 2020, right when the pandemic happened. So I've only been a caregiver for since October, so not quite a year yet.
Very nice. 10 years, eh? 10 years. Wow. And I'm just going to turn off my notification on my phone because I don't know, for some reason it just keeps
You're too popular. Who wants to talk to you?
Oh wow! I hope they're putting money in my account. If that's if that's how the popularity works, that's awesome. But no, as I like Justin just said, we work together in the float pool, and as I was saying, oh, look at you! Hey,
this is Tika.
Hi, Tika.
Tika is 14 months old, and she's like having a toddler, man. She's into everything.
Yeah. Hi, Tika. And this guy, Justin, one thing I actually remember about this guy, he doesn't say very much. I know when we first met, he was quiet Justin. It doesn't even sound believable to say quiet Justin. That's like just so wrong. But no, it's honestly true. He was quiet. But one thing you can always get Justin talking about is his daughter. So I'm really hoping I can get to meet Isabel because she'll
be
yeah.
She's been alone for very long. We're trying to have an app right now, which isn't going to happen. So
yeah, she I don't know if she's a daddy's girl or guy. I think it's the other way around.
I mean, I don't know. I like to think she is, but
yeah, I think she is too. Like I would be. I'm a big daddy's girl. Like honestly, I'm not even ashamed of that. As old as I am, I still am. My mom doesn't get it, but yeah, I am a daddy's girl. But anyways, guys, the show is called Nurses with Talent, and Justin is absolutely talented, like very, very talented. And he's for sure going to be back on the show showing his talent.
It's a skill. It's not really a talent.
It is a talent. It's okay. We'll call it skill. He's amazing. Like so good. Like, oh my goodness. We have to get him back on the show to do some of that fun stuff for us. Because he's really good. I'm not going to tell you guys what it is so that when he comes back, you're coming back, right?
Coming back where on the show?
On the show to show your talent.
One-time deal.
It was a one-time deal.
I'm getting paid for this, right?
Totally.
Yeah,
What would you like? With like a Tim Hortons biscuit or something?
What? No money. I need money.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, but no, Justin is so much fun to be around. But he's one of those people, he's like Tuzee Tuesdays critic for me. So Justin will be those people that says, "Yep, I'm watching your show anyways. I think the introduction is too long, so I'm just going to skip that and I'm going to the actual show." I'm like, okay. But I'm just glad he watches my show because he's amazing. I'm not just saying this. You guys gonna hear why he's here on the show because I've been trying to get him on, and it was a big surprise when he actually called me up and told me he wanted to be on the show today. And I'm so proud of you.
Well, don't be proud yet. We haven't even started.
I'm just proud that you're actually here. I'm proud that you actually are on the show. I think it's amazing what you are doing. And guys, keep watching because you're going to be amazed just by, like I said, he actually called me to be on my show. So I'm very, very, very privileged to have him here. So, like, we're just going to go into our topic for today, Justin. And I want you to, just for starters, let me know what changed your mind. Why did you call me? Just briefly, and then we'll go into details.
It's just something that I felt I had a responsibility to do, and it's something that I really needed to take some time to think about whether or not this is something I wanted to be public and known. So I know other nurses from the hospital watch this, and it's. I think, am I going to be comfortable working with people after divulging this really, really personal information? But it's important to me because I feel like it can benefit more people than it would cause me embarrassment. So.
I love that. I told you guys he's a softie. Didn't I tell you that?
Hey, come on.
But that's just beautiful, putting others before yourself. I love that. This is totally Justin, actually, guys. I work with this guy, and there's that time when we literally struggling. No one can leave for break, and he tells me go for break, and he stay. He tells me I need food more than he does. So I don't know, but no, he's definitely put others before him for sure. So this is just a piece of him, and that's so true. He's doing this, even though, like you said, didn't matter if he's embarrassed. He thinks he can help people by doing this show today. So keep watching because this is amazing. So let's start from the beginning, Justin.
From the beginning. Okay, well, so you'll have to bear with me. This is still really awkward.
It's fine. Take your time. Just go with the flow.
All right. So I thought I lived a fairly normal life with just, random things that would happen here and there. And I thought maybe I was an excitable person who would sometimes do questionable things. So 2 years ago, not 2 years ago, 2018, so 3 years ago.
We can totally erase 2020. 2020 doesn't count. So you can sit.
You're right.
Yeah.
So I'll step back a little bit. So when I was a teenager, I was really struggling with depression, and that continued through most of my life. It kind of got really bad when I was, I think, 26 or 27. And at that point, I ended up going to see a doctor, and I was started on antidepressants. I think it helped a little bit, but things were still really difficult. And so things kind of got worse and worse over time, even though I was taking medication. And in 2017, I was having a lot more really low mood days, really low energy. A lot of the stereotypical things you hear about people who have depression or struggle with depression. Can't get out of bed in the morning, no appetite, no energy, no interest in anything that you normally do. It's very very typical. So it kind of got a little worse to the point where I started having a lot of negative thoughts about myself. And I think those thoughts have always been there growing up, but they began to get more intense and more frequent. 2018, I started having a lot of suicidal thoughts, and it got to the point where I thought I needed to take a break from nursing because I didn't feel that I could focus enough and put the attention I needed into my patients. And I didn't want to, like, as a nurse, like, my job is I'm there for that person, right, or for those people. And I thought, you know, if I'm struggling this much to even just keep my mind clear and get basic stuff done in my life, how am I going to help other people? So I decided I was going to leave nursing in 2018. I had been at a hospital working in mental health up until that point for 7 years. It was really difficult choosing to leave seniority and a pension and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But I was very honest with myself, and I said, you know, I'm not going to risk my nursing license or someone's life on, you know, me building seniority or having more money, right?
Right.
So I left nursing. I went into a few different jobs that I thought maybe if there was less stress involved, I'd be able to focus more. But actually, things got a lot worse. I think nursing, to a certain extent, it was able to preoccupy my mind and kind of keep certain things at bay in terms of negative thoughts. So when I went into some construction work and some factory work, for me anyway, it was more difficult because I was physically doing the work, but I had, you know, 8 hours of just thinking to myself, like, always negative, over and over and over. At that point, I found that the frequency of these thoughts and the intensity became a lot worse. I started wishing that I would just go to sleep.
Are you okay?
I'm okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So anyway, Isabel just came in, but she's like just wearing her pull-up. So
that's okay. I don't mind. Okay. Isabel, I have 2 daughters, so they used to run around my house with pull-ups. So
she refuses to wear clothes. Like when she's here or at any family member, like grandma's or mom's or my place, the minute she gets in the door, there's just a pack of clothes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she doesn't. The minute the door opens, she's taking stuff off. So you know what? As long as she wears clothes when she's out, it's fine. But
that's okay. It's warm anyways. I would if I were her age. I totally run.
I know.
Right? It's so warm right now. Yeah.
So okay. Anyway, yeah, I started having a lot more suicidal thoughts, but it got to the point where I really I didn't want to be alive anymore, and I felt that I was a burden on people, that I was hindering their lives, I was holding people back, I was a problem, and I didn't have a purpose. And I thought, you know, and then this is very typical of people who have suicidal thoughts, in my experience, with depression anyway. Feeling like you don't belong, you don't have a purpose, everyone would be better off if you were gone. And having that go through your head on a regular basis, on a daily basis, it really wears you down. Like, imagine having somebody follow you around all day and tell you that you're stupid and you're useless and you're a failure and all this negative stuff. You can ignore it for the first little while, but after a couple days, a couple weeks, a couple months of the same thing over and over, I think no matter how resilient you are, it would eventually start to break you down because it's so constant.
Yeah, that is true.
I think
it just I don't want to cut you off, but was it like a gradual? Like, did you find yourself gradually getting like more and more like with the negative thoughts, or was it just like it just all of a sudden there was a burst of it that came up?
It was gradual. So like when I was
It was
younger,
gradual.
yeah, like when I was younger, I had really low moods and stuff like that. And I'll go back to this because after everything happened, I gained a lot of insight. But
Okay.
I also kind of had low moods and low energy and some negative thoughts. But I found that as I got older, it got worse. And then for some reason,
Is Daddy being embarrassing right now? Hi.
you say hi.
Hello. I've heard so much about you.
This is Tuzee.
Oh
Tuzee,
my
this is
gosh, you're
Isabel.
so cute.
Why are you on my back? What's happening?
Oh, I love that.
Uh,
That is so cute.
anyway, it did get worse over time, and I'm not really sure what exactly got me to the point where I decided I needed help, or made it that bad that I got to that point. Hey, come on.
There she is. Hi. Hello. Hi. I've totally heard you talk on the phone with your daddy, so I know you can talk. Hi.
You're very quiet.
That's okay. That's okay. What's your favorite thing? Do you like ice cream, Isabel? Did you give her any ice cream today? It's so warm. He didn't give you ice cream?
No,
What do you mean no?
tell her that now. She'll want ice cream.
Wow. You need to give ice cream on hot days.
Yeah, when she eats her food, we have a deal. Excuse me. Excuse me. Can I help you?
I love it.
Really?
Are you going
Really?
to do the show, Isabel?
Okay. Can I speak, please?
Yep.
Oh my god. All right. Come here.
No.
Come here. Hey, come on. Ugh.
Oh, Isabel, you're so cute. Well, that is Justin's daughter, guys. She
Yep.
is, you're so cute. Your dad talks about you so much. And I'm so privileged to meet you so
It's
much.
She's so cute. All right.
She is very cute. Maybe one day we can have a play date. You can meet my girls.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, totally. I love that. Absolutely.
All right. Why are you headbutting me? Okay. Anyway, so yeah, I'm not really sure what exactly got me to that point, but I did start. I actually was at work one day, and I went to my manager and I told him, like, look, I think if I stay here, like I worked in the factory at that point. I worked in the factory at that point, and I was legitimately, oh, very nice. See, she's okay.
Good. Good to know.
Hey, you mind? Don't take a minute. That was just a little. I'll be right there. And then I'll get you some ice cream because
That's right. Ice cream.
Okay, so I was working in a factory at that point, and I remember standing and so the place I worked, we made steel frames for forestry equipment, and they weigh upwards of like 10,000, 20,000 pounds, and they would transport them through the factory on chains with different by different methods. And I remember thinking, like, I wish one of these things would just fall on me and the game over. And I couldn't clear my head. I couldn't stop thinking like that. I went to my manager and I said, look, I think I need to go to the hospital. And I went to the hospital, and they actually ended up admitting me. And at that point, after being there for 2 or 3 days, They diagnosed me with bipolar 2. So just for anyone who's not familiar with bipolar, there's bipolar 1 and bipolar 2. Bipolar 1, the main differences are just the differences between mania and depression. So bipolar 1 tends to have higher manic episodes like true mania, where bipolar 2 is more hypomania. So everybody experiences these differently regardless of diagnosis, but for me, instead of like for mania, for people I've talked to who have been through mania, they've done things like they've spent their life savings, they've given things away to people, they've it's like you're a completely different person. And I am similar. I've done very things that I kind of regret doing. So I'll give you an example. So hypomania for me, I tend to, I have a lot of energy. I feel like I'm everyone's best friend. Everyone loves me, and which isn't far off from the truth. So I guess that's not really a manic thing. But no, I everything is hilarious. Every day is great. You know when you're having like such a good day that nothing can ruin your day? It's kind of like that. In addition to that, for myself anyway, I tend to really want to help people, but a lot of the times it's kind of at my own detriment. So I've given away a lot of my things that I shouldn't, because I know, like at the time, someone may have needed something, or even if it just came up. Like I'll give you an example. There's this game. Some people will be familiar with it, but I'm a big nerd, so comic books. So there's a game called Warhammer, and
what is it called? Sorry.
Warhammer, and they have little figures. You basically build an army, and then you have a giant table with like terrain and stuff, and your job is to basically destroy the other person's army. So it can be an expensive game. The army that I have had was actually given to me by a friend. I think the total value of the army was around $2,000. And I happened to have a friend who I met her boyfriend. So I didn't even know this guy like personally. I met her boyfriend, and it came up in conversation that he used to play. And I thought, oh, hey, I have this army I'm not using. Do you want it? And he was like, yeah, totally. And so I just gave him this $2,000 army that I was like,
wow,
no big deal. He's going to use it. That's a great thing, And then later, once I started coming down, I was like, oh my God, what did I do?
What did I do?
I've had those moments in the past where I've done things when I'm hypomanic, and I think, I come down and I'm like, oh my God, what did I do? And I know that's pretty standard from people that I've talked to.
Does that happen like quite a lot, or is it like just episodes at a time?
The hypomania?
Mm-hmm.
So it varies for everyone. There are actually different types of bipolar. Bipolar 1 and 2 are the main types, but there's I can't even think of them right now. But there's different types. So everybody who has some form of bipolar tend to experience it differently. I actually, and this is one of the reasons I'm doing this too, I joined a Facebook support group, and I found a lot of people in that group had a lot of the same questions as me when they were diagnosed. When I was diagnosed, and again, this is one of the reasons that I'm doing this, I felt so lost. So working in mental health, I know I'm sidetracking from your question, but I'll get back to it. Working in mental health, you see, like on an inpatient unit, an acute care setting, you see really acutely unwell people. And it never occurred to me, working in that environment, that there are people who function on a daily basis and who have productive lives who also have this diagnosis. It never occurred to me, because all I was seeing was people who were in really bad situations, or were not able to function things like that. And so when I got this diagnosis, I immediately thought, oh man, my life is over, my career is over. I'm just like these people that I treat on the unit. So between 2018 and 2020, even into 2020, things were very difficult. There were a lot of medication changes. I went through, I think, maybe 5 or 6, maybe even more medication changes to try to find the right one. And with that, every time I tried something, it would affect my mood. Sometimes it would manage the hypomania, and sometimes it would manage the depression. But at other times, it would make whichever one it wasn't managing, it would make that worse or more frequent. So, being on a medication and suddenly the depression's getting better, but all of a sudden I'm having a lot more hypomanic episodes, or vice versa, where, the hypomania is more controlled, but I'm down all the time. It was a trial and error for years. Luckily for me, and again, like from that group, I've been able to gain a lot of insight in terms of what other people go through. And, for me, even 2 years isn't as long a time as some people have been struggling with this to get the right medications. There are people who I've talked to in that group who they were diagnosed 10 or more years ago, and they're still trying to find a good balance of medications. So having a diagnosis is one thing, but knowing the severity of that diagnosis is also really important. There are people who have a diagnosis that maybe they only experience depression or hypomania or whatever a couple times a year. Other people, they can experience it on a weekly basis. Every few days they're up and down, up and down. It is really hard to live your life when you are constantly it feels like you're on a roller coaster and you have no control. You're there for the ride. So in terms of how frequently it was happening, like the hypomania, it's hard to say because there were times where it wasn't that frequent, and then there was times where it was.
Was more. Did you find Did you find when you were like, let's say, getting more like in a more depressed, maybe more SI, than you find the mania was coming more on, or is it just like when is it like a certain signs that it's going to come up, like, or it doesn't really give you a warning, it just appears,
So one of the things that I've been able to learn, so I will tell you that once I got this diagnosis and I got over that initial period of utter fear that my life was over, I decided I really needed to learn more about this and stuff. So I tried talking to different people about it. I tried remembering or going back to my own knowledge of what I had learned working in mental health.
Right. I was actually just thinking that. Did you find it harder? As a nurse, you hear, we work with bipolar, but you don't hear everything about bipolar. And being a nurse that maybe heard about bipolar and being diagnosed with bipolar, did you find that really difficult? How did you find that? Was that more like do you think that increased your hopelessness or?
Oh yeah.
I totally get that. Yeah.
Because at first I thought, having this diagnosis now, it's a good thing I left nursing. But at the same time, I was like, I'm never going to be able to do that. And I was a volunteer firefighter too for a couple of years, and I loved it. But and that was always my goal, was to get back into it, even if it was just on a volunteer basis. But for those 2 years where I was really struggling, I thought, this is it. All of my dreams of having stability and having having a job that I love and all that stuff just seemed like it wasn't a possibility anymore. So I became very hopeless, and I think I began struggling a lot more with depression after that diagnosis.
Yeah.
But I think part of that was because, and I can only speak to my experience, but a big part of that was you get this diagnosis and they say, um, here's some medication. We're going to try to figure out something that works for you. And then you get discharged and then you're just kind of on your own to figure stuff out. And like I said,
Hmm.
I felt so